there are just a million other senses that we don't really consider because science, and that's the thing is like we are both very into like combining science and spirituality. And I think that that's really important because a long time ago, science went in this very physical direction. And since then, I feel like as humans, we've suffered the consequences of that because like...
Explain that a little bit.
So like back in the day when there was a lot of scientists, I think it was like Plato, I could be very wrong about this, but like a lot of the people that came up with like our basic understanding, like Newton and like, you know, like all the people that came up with very basic understandings of our physical reality could not interpret what consciousness or the energetic realm had to do with it. And so instead of trying to figure it out and combining the two, we just went off into science and this whole direction that is only based on our physical reality and what we can see and what we can study physically and collect data with. You know what I mean? And so because of that, I feel like science has actually separated us from our spirituality because it creates this very physical world and it creates all of this logic and like all of these things that are very like left-brained way of thinking. But at the end of the day, we have all of these energetic receptors and we are conscious. And what is that? We don't even know. In science, what is consciousness? Like we have no idea. So it's like there are so many other aspects to being human that we experience, but we don't really understand it fully enough to even...
we have no idea what's going on.
We have no idea.
And the chances are like this is a simulation and all the different...
I think we're in a simulation.
I think we're in a simulation too. I think we're in a simulation like 100%. I think the chances of it are so high because I mean, even if you just look at like biologically, your body produces DMT. When you die and DMT is released, you can have a whole other life when you do DMT. If you do DMT while you're alive, like you can, I've heard stories of people living full lives of like 50, 60, 70 years and they have a family and they have all this. So you're telling me this is like impossible that it's a simulation when you can produce, you have something in your brain that produces that.
And you know also that DMT is actually produced in your visual cortex at the same amount that like serotonin or dopamine is produced, and it fits in the same receptors as serotonin and dopamine. If you look at the DMT molecule, it looks, and you look at the dopamine molecule and you look at the serotonin molecule, they literally, their chemical structure is very similar and they can fit in the same receptors.